are you subscribed to Illusionary Wall? Illusionary Wall? I think that's.
Yes.
He
Yeah,
just
I am.
released a video about the vagrants in Dark Souls, about what happened, why were they designed specifically, and he thinks that they were designed to split up the accessibility of the crystal lizard concept. Because in Demon Souls, apparently some crystal lizards they'll go away forever if you don't catch them in time, and
Oh
so
wow.
they did that with
Okay.
the vagrants. They kept the crystal lizards, but they keep respawning in Dark Souls. If you can quit and restart, and the crystal lizard will pop right back. But the vagrants are the rare, once one chance sort of thing. You see one. I've actually never seen one actually a vagrant. I've played Dark Souls so many times, and I have never seen one. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I guess I think you're supposed to drop something, but I never really played around with that much.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen one either, in
I
all the
mean,
years I've done it.
it's crazy how rare they actually are. And the guy in the video, he actually does a lot of comparisons, like with Dark Souls 3, the egg that that lady is holding before Slave Knight Gale. He was doing comparisons with that. Apparently, inside that egg are pieces of crystal lizards. It kind of goes off into a lot of lore
Oh
stuff.
wow. See, I love those kind of videos, like Zuli the Witch. I don't know
Hmm.
if you ever
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm
watched
subscribed to
that one.
that channel.
Oh, I absolutely love all that kind of stuff. It's just so interesting how the community pieces things together.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just mind-boggling.
See, I'm not the biggest fan of lore, but the way Zully the Witch, the way they make their videos is very fascinating. Actually makes me slightly interested in the lore because it actually has something to do with the game design itself. That
Yes.
pulls in my interest.
That's like that for me too. I don't mind the lore in these games. I think it's cool, but I know a lot of people like to really deep dive, which
Hmm.
is great if that's what you're into, because I fully understand it. There's definitely a lot of enjoyment, but I think definitely Zully the Witch. I think it's because it's bite-sized and it's such a nice little flow to it, especially with like reading the text. It's just very easy to understand, so you don't feel like you're getting confused within the lore. Because I
Hmm.
think FromSoft, obviously, they give you a lot of, I guess, straws to pull, because obviously that's the whole point of the story, isn't it? That we all kind of come to our own conclusions.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely think Zuli the Witch does a fantastic job of bite-sized information that makes sense. And it's like, oh wow, okay, that fills in all the questions I have
And
on that topic.
I like to think as I like to think of the gameplay in the same way. How you handle everything is up to your interpretation. Um,
Exactly, yeah.
Now, I've had an interesting conversation with people lately about, are no damage runs intentional? Well, it's like saying, is this piece of lore is intentional? Now, obviously, in Dark Souls 2, you can, if you do defeat Sir alone without taking damage, he does that seppuku animation where he stabs himself. But we haven't seen that anywhere else in the series. So, you know,
Point.
yeah, so that's where I'm kind of conflicted on. If it wasn't for that, then I would say, you know what, it's really just up to you if you want to consider no damage intentional or not. But there are a lot of attacks that really has me that really have that really sorry that has me scratching my head a lot, like the Elden Stars attack
Oh yeah,
and the way it's
that's a head
designed.
scratcher.
I'm like, man, it's just like I said, I really don't want to say anything else until I see the strategy guide and see what they say about it. I mean, are
It's
they
gonna be a
really?
blank page.
Yeah, it's gonna be a one whole page describing the attack, but it's just so opaque. The invasion method. I just do not see them putting something like that in the strategy guide. I mean, it's just so incredibly vague on how to evade it. Um,
I think they'll probably just do what the wiki says about the what was the crystal tier called? I have it written down here somewhere. The Crimson Hall bubble tier. I think that's literally what they're going to probably mention.
that's actually a good point. Actually, they probably will mention that more than likely, and just say, "Oh, just take the damage."
Yeah, because I see a lot of people also mention that bubble tier works for Pray to Rykard for the lava in the
Yeah,
arena.
because I mean, what else are they going to say about Moog? I mean, they're going to say, "Oh, you got to use the crystals tier to reduce the amount of damage." So yeah, you're actually right. And when it comes to Elden Stars, they more than 90% sure they will mention the crystal tier.
I think it's the most viable way to do it, but you only get one chance at it, obviously,
Yeah.
because it is physic flask. But I definitely feel like that will be kind of the crutch, if anything,
Yeah.
that will be use this tier as a last resort.
Well, pretty much look at the Elden Stars attack. Once it happens and it's over with, you pretty much rush to kill the boss because it can happen again, and you might not be prepared for it the second time.
Yeah, you want to try and keep the aggression moving so where the boss actually moves.
Hmm.
You want to be able to at least give yourself a bit of distance to heal.